I'm Michael Howard from IHS. I'm here today with a number of industry luminaries. We're discussing the MEF's third network and LSO. Alex, what's Telecom Italia's Sparkle doing with LSO? What are your customers going to get out of it? What will your network look like when you get done?
As a Sparkle, we are governing the migration from telco operator to digital telco operator. It's a huge process that we are managing in our company. We think that this is due to the ICT convergence. We see software and development that is really going through and going to the process of many of the applications that we have in our company. So as evolution of Sparkle, we think that OSS, BSS, for example, would be convergent. We have organized some of the key processes internally, and we know that the new plan of IT and the new plan of the network has to go in the same way. So the concept of LSO is interesting because it gives us a guideline, and MEF is also contributing to understand for us better what we have to do in the next future. By sure, we think that the market is asking to the carriers and to the operators different services that we have to implement in a very fast way. So processes has to respond to this new request coming from the customers, and the intelligence of the network has to be aligned to this new request. We believe that network engineers have to work hard, IT engineers have to work hard, and marketing people have also to demand for new services to implement it in a better way.
Axel, can you give us some examples of real-world progress towards the MEF's third network?
Vision without execution is hallucination, so it's very important for the operators actually to get going with real implementations. We at Deutsche Telekom actually launched at Mobile World Congress this year the first product which is fully built on the principles of LSO, NFV and SDN. That's our Cloud VPN product we have launched in Croatia, Slovakia and Hungary. And it's a very successful launch because it's proving that we are actually able to produce the product satisfying our customer needs. And the customers are indeed expecting instantaneous provisioning, self-service options, and this product is exactly meeting their needs.
How do you see the development in the market of LSO in relationship to the OSS and BSS?
When we look at LSO, it's actually covering on one side the wholesale, on the other side the business market. We as operators actually have the same problem also for our consumer market. And when you look at the issue, you have an SDN and NFV based production, you need to orchestrate this, you need to basically replace a large part of the existing OSS to move towards a real-time OSS. So when we look at the market size for LSO, MEF had shown a study estimating the market size towards the end of the decade. I believe the market for a full real-time OSS is actually much, much bigger, as this is a problem all of the operators have, and we need to solve this in order to satisfy the needs of our customers on one side and improve our operational efficiency on the other side.
Christopher, is LSO just for big operators? What about tier 3 regional players?
Yeah, I think we're seeing the LSO being championed by a lot of the bigger operators, but it's for everyone. And the reason why it's for everyone is because if you look at the major threat today in telco, it's the over-the-top players that's spoken of. And the one thing the over-the-top players have that the telcos don't is they have a ubiquitous global network. And the thing that's stopping the telcos from having that is this interoperability. And that's a key component of LSO. So that's why everyone can have it. And when it comes to understanding if you're ready for it, it's just, are you motivated by off-net business? So are you selling transport? Are you selling access? Are you buying access so that you can grow your customer base or help your existing customers grow? That means you're ready for it. And if we look at sort of the steps that you need to achieve to get that readiness, I think first and foremost is performance. And the reason for that is when you look at LSO, what's different from that versus the internet is service quality. So being able to deliver an assured service versus just a best effort service. So the first thing that needs to be done is to standardize on that performance best practices, ensure they're in place, and then ensure they're interoperable between multiple operators so that they can share that data and manage essentially multi-operator network as one.
Chris, can you give us some examples of real-world progress of implementing LSO?
As an LSO vendor, really watching deployments in the real world, I'm amazed at the rate of progress here. We have enterprise customers offering enterprise services who today offer a self-serve portal that do connectivity on demand from anyone to anyone else, and offer that self-serve portal not just the fulfillment side, but also SLA reports and real-time operational status of those connections. That's LSO live today. On the bigger operators, what we're finding is that they take specific examples. So a major wireless operator, for example, used to take on the order of 45 minutes to sectionalize a trouble from their core network down to when they lose connectivity to their cell site. Now with an LSO that's orchestrating that end-to-end connectivity, they can do it in minutes. And I think those are real-world examples of managing today's infrastructure. What we're also seeing is that as those operators are then transitioning to NFV, the services are crossing a combination of both the physical and virtual. And in those examples, what we're seeing is still mostly trials and proof points. But I think there really is coming to be an understanding that LSO is a fundamental part of making the transition from the existing world to NFV SDN-based networks.
Jack, what's the value of LSO and the APIs? How do they relate?
The LSO provides a framework from which we will be able to design, develop, and deploy a set of APIs in support of software automation, specifically for service fulfillment, service assurance. The benefit from a customer's perspective is they will be able to realize a net store, just like they would an app store, where things are automated, and their ability to experience a 30 to 90 second instead of a 30 to 90 day activation is an end game for the customer. Certainly the service providers can experience increased revenue from providing new products and services more rapidly. They can also reduce their operations costs just through general software automation, which is the LSO framework mantra.
So Nan, what's the overall state? What are the trends for LSO implementation?
LSO market has been accepted by the industry in a very positive way. I'm really pleased to see how things are actually going. And first of all, we launched in September last year, and the proof of concept demonstrated at Gen 14 has involved in multiple companies. The dynamic services aspect of a third network has been demonstrated there, and we're really pleased with 1,000 attendees. And then we launched 2 white papers. Those 2 white papers really the blueprint of how the third network will be characterized, as well as how the LSO would really working to support the third network services. In March this year, Renault Report launched the first LSO sizing, and that LSO sizing projecting $2.7 billion market by 2019, so which is a great momentum. In addition to that, technical work within MEF has grown really, really well, and the reference architecture will be ratified as official standards by October this year, so only 3 months away. So all in all, I'm really pleased with the progress.
Thank you for joining us today. I've learned a lot. I'm sure you've learned a lot about the MEF's third network and LSO. We're going to be hearing more about implementations around the world of this exciting new technology, an important part of the future of carrier networks.